Okay, a very warm welcome to the EBB Stadium. More National League action, our third home game in 8 days here in North East Hampshire. It's dry this evening. Forecast is for it to continue to be dry, so that's something different to the last couple of games. Excuse me. And our flag bearers are awaiting the teams. But Steve Gibbs and myself in the commentary box are ready. Myself being Rob Worrell, you're listening to BBC Radio Surrey and online and the BBC Sport app, and very soon, of course, the NLTV platform as well. A very good evening, Steve Gibbs.
Good evening, Rob. It's good to be back so soon after such a thrilling Saturday evening.
It was, wasn't it? Very contrasting performances and results. Obviously, we're well aware you weren't here for the for the Fylde one, but I did a piece with BBC Surrey this morning, and they asked me what I thought for tonight, and I never know, because you never know with this team. You know,
No.
you never did with Aldershot anyway, whoever the manager was, and you certainly don't with this season's version. But what I did say was, if football was conkers, Aldershot would have no chance, because they lost 5-0 to Fylde, and Fylde then went on and lost 4-2 to Barnet.
Schoolboy rules suggest that that any time a team knocks someone out of the FA Cup, they're better than that team, and then that team goes and knocks the other team out. So by some virtue, Aldershot were better than Arsenal or something at some point. But
exactly that.
I thought to myself this afternoon, it could be 5-0, but it could be either way. Or, given that this is two of the most prolific teams in the National League who realise that attack is the best form of defence, it could be 4-4. And I think the one thing that is guaranteed this evening, and this isn't meant to put the kibosh on it and consign us to a dour 0-0, but there will be entertainment and goals.
Pretty sure there will be. I'd agree with that. And just to knock the conkers theory on the head, conkers is bonkers, isn't it? Football isn't conkers. It's not played on paper either, so we'll forget all those theories and we'll just see what unravels in front of us. Major headline team news for Barnet, and this is nothing new, by the way. It was the same on Saturday. No ex-Aldershot players, so no Laurie Walker, he's injured. No Idris Kanu, he's injured. No Nicky Kabamba. There was thoughts that he was being rested but would be back tonight, and isn't, and he's not even in the squad. None of them are. Nor also is Gorman, who is their skipper. So they are shorn of good quality players, but they were on Saturday and they still managed to win 4-2 at Fylde. Do you think it might have been a game too far for Fylde after long away trips to Eastleigh and Aldershot?
I think quite possibly, yeah. They've done so well recently to pull themselves some way clear of the relegation zone that, I think it might have been maybe they put so much into those games, particularly the 5-0 demolition here at the Ebb Stadium last week, that they'll be pleased with their recent form, albeit they lost on Saturday. But certainly Barnet have got lots of quality. Yes, they're missing key players, those 3 ex-Shots players and their captain and other players as well, but they've still got quality and experience, or at least good youthful pedigree in every department, and they will be really tough opposition this evening.
Excellent. Well, that's the Barnet team news discussed. On to the Shots team now. 2 changes. Geordie van Stappershurf in goal, Harfield, Minoga and Menegis, the centre-backs, Glover and Frost, the wing-backs. O'Keefe comes back in alongside Tetek, and Stokes plays behind Tollage and James Daly, who gets his first start for the Shots this evening. So, Steve, while the teams go through their final sprints and get set for kick-off, your thoughts on those 2 changes? Obviously, Jack Barham done nothing wrong, but he's such a bundle of energy. He needs a little bit of a rest every now and again. James Daly's been champing at the bit for that first start. And O'Keefe comes in as you would have thought he might. 2 games a week, too much for him at the moment. But interestingly, this time Tetek is considered fit enough. We know he's good enough, fit enough to stay in the side, and Whittington drops out of the squad.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Theo, he played well on Saturday.
Yep.
And it's already been said around these parts, and I would agree, one of his best games in the red and blue shirt this season. But I think O'Keefe adds a little bit of extra experience, and Tetek's got that technical ability, that efficiency, in possession and out of possession. He always seems to know where to be in the right place, and if he is fit enough to start 2 games in 4 days, then that's going to be to Aldershot Town's benefit now and in the long-term future. I know there's some discussions about keeping him at Aldershot Town in the longer term, and that would be a brilliant thing to see, given the quality he's shown and the form that he's shown. But yeah, I think James Daly, the cameo that he had on Saturday against Altrincham, and the way that Tommy praised him in the post-match interviews, suggested that he might get his opportunity. And Tommy will say, every manager says, when the fixtures come thick and fast, every player is needed in the squad, even if they've not been involved for a few weeks. They will get their chance. And there's no point signing someone like James Daly if he's not going to get an opportunity to start and show what he can do for the longer term. Cameos are all well and good, but you need a chance to show, and he's got enough quality.
Brilliant, thank you very much. That's Steve Gibbs. I'm Rob Worrell, and Aldershot in their home strip of red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks will be attacking the High Street end in the first half. Barnet in, well, I was going to say all white, but there is a little bit of stripes going on the back of that shirt, and maybe the front too. Is it black and white? Is it black and white?
Yeah, I think it's fading black and red stripes on a predominantly white shirt.
There we go, thank you very much. I always go to you now as our colour consultant after that peppermint moment earlier on in the season that you just wouldn't let, leave alone after that. His shots. Tolaj gets it back from Stokes. Into the area, back trying to get on his left foot. A lot of bodies in front of him. Goes back in the end. Stokes has got it again. Stokes on the edge of the area. He comes back to Frost. And Aldershot, accepting that Barnet have got 10 men behind the ball, didn't try to play their way through there. At the moment, it's just Gatlin O'Donkor up top for Barnet. He's now pressing Minoga as Aldershot have gone all the way back to Van Stappershoef. He goes out to Harfield. Lovely first touch and swivel from him. Looks up and then goes long down the line towards Daly. But that's just going to drift into touch. And with the exception probably of Daly, just about every other Shots player managed to touch the ball in that first minute. The ball's played back to the Barnet keeper, which isn't Laurie Walker, it's Josh Keeley, who's in goal at the moment. We're led to believe Laurie Walker has, did you say a shoulder injury?
A shoulder injury, yes.
Yeah. I'd also heard rumours a few weeks ago that there may have been a bit of a falling out between him and Dean Brennan, but that one hasn't been commented on publicly. So Barnet fans, welcome as well if you're listening to this BBC Radio Surrey commentary or watching on NLTV. Cracking season for the Bees. There's a good sharp turn from Tolaj, and he's pulled back rather cynically. You see that kind of challenge yellow carded sometimes, Steve, don't you? The referee Wayne Cartmel not giving anything more than a free kick on this occasion. Would be tough, wouldn't it, to get a yellow in the first side the 2 minutes, but
you've got to take it on its merits, whether it's the first 5 seconds or well into the second half. If a challenge is worthy of a caution, then it should be given. And I think Akimo knew what he was doing. It was a slight foul, just a little tug on the shirt, nothing more. And I think probably in the end, the right decision from Mr. Cartmel.
Throw into Aldershot just inside the Barnet half, taken by Frost, and Daly challenges for it. Be interesting to see. At times, Tolaj looks almost level with Stokes, and Daly up top at the moment. I'll keep an eye on that one. I mean, obviously it's a three-pronged attack. Here's Tolaj getting away from his man, getting to the byline, and he plays it off of the Barnet player. I think it might have been Zach Brunt, and it goes behind. Actually played it off of Brunt. It came back onto Tolaj, and then back off of Brunt again. And it will be a corner, the first one of the evening, in just the 4th minute to the shots, which Ryan Glover is going to take right-footed, although he's got Tetek alongside him. In comes the ball to the near post. Not the best delivery, and I think it's O'Donkor back there who just didn't quite read the bounce, and it came off him and went behind for a second corner to the shots. We're still in the 4th minute. Glover's going to send this one into the area. It's missed by a couple of people, comes to the edge of the area. Frost heads it back in, but it falls quite kindly for a Barnet player who gets onto it. It's Reece Hall-Johnson on the wrong side, as it were, for him. Keeps it, goes back to Akimo, who recovers well with his challenge. Stokes has now won it. Played it inside to Daly. Daly to O'Keefe. O'Keefe almost turns into trouble, but recovers well. Goes back to Frost. Frost into Stokes. Stokes back to O'Keefe. And O'Keefe is going to go further back to Roland Menayis, who plays it across the back line to Ryan Glover. And Shots enjoying some good early possession here, Steve. Let's see if Tolaj does get away here down the left-hand side. He's up against the Barnet number 20, Connor Stevens. And in the end, Stevens wins the battle, but puts the ball into touch. Throw in for Aldershot, just 4 or 5 yards back from the corner flag. And a lively start from the Shots. They've probably had a good 3 minutes possession out of the 4.5 played so far. Barnet in mixed form of late. 2 wins, 1 draw and 3 defeats in the last 6. Terrific win up at Fylde on Saturday. Harfield tries to get his cross in. That's blocked by Hall-Johnson and goes back into touch. Keep the space is what he's shouting, Willard to Frost. Here's Tolaj, squares it across. Cannons down off of a Barnet player and plays it forward. It's nicely held by O'Donkor, but he just bounces off of Minoga. Menayis got his feet a little bit caught up, recovered well, goes back to Van Stappershoef, who feeds Frost. Frost to Menayis again, and now Barnet are venturing a little bit further forward with a bit of a press. Aldershot have played through it. Tetek gets it, gives it. So good at that is Frost on the burst forward. Plays it into Daly. Daly looking to give it back to him. And Barnet taking no chances through Adam Thompson. Plays it into touch. Do get you feeling that maybe your Barnet game plan is to keep the home team quiet in the first 10-15 minutes. And that's exactly what they're doing, Steve.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they are a high pressing team, one of the best at that in this division. But we haven't really seen that other than that last few moments.
Tolaj across the area into the feet of Stokes, gets his shot on target, but probably at the detriment of a little bit of pace and power, and it's gathered comfortably low down by Josh Keeley, who's on loan from Tottenham Hotspur until the end of the season. Republic of Ireland under 21 international, Steve. Yeah,
I think that maybe there's a feeling. Walker's injury, yes, of course, but maybe there was a feeling that because Barnet are a possession-based, a passing team, like to play out from the back, that maybe there's a feeling that Keeley is better with the ball at his feet than Laurie Walker is, and of course that's a key element of any goalkeeper's armoury in these modern days.
Aldershot have been on the end of some good beatings at the Hive in recent seasons. This season was probably the least worst of the defeats. They were 2-0 down. And, good battling away for the ball. Well, it's been kept in by Barnet, and then Glover comes back, responds, and it bounces towards touch, but it's spinning viciously and drops down. Barnet might get the opportunity to get a ball into the box here. They do. And there's a coming together between two players. And there are a few appeals from the Barnet players and supporters that for a penalty there, but referee Wayne Cartmel having none of it. What did you think, Steve?
I think a tangle of feet.
Yeah.
Nothing more. Dean Brennan, of course, was appealing for it, as you'd expect Tommy Woodring to do if it was in the other penalty area, but no, again, Mr. Cartmel got that right.
Good evening to Gina Ballston, who's listening, along with Ellie. A couple of moments of fame for that family in the last couple of weeks. Ellie was mascot up at Halifax, and Gina was on TNT Sports prior to the game on Saturday, talking about the shots. Well done, Gina. I see Gina's written the Supporters Club in the programme as well today. So busy week for you, Gina. Glad you're able to just chill out and listen tonight. I'm presuming that half term's over and you're back up in the north. In a lot of places in the south, it's this week half term.
It's been a split half term week.
Yeah.
Hopefully some of the younger Shots fans will at least have been able to make one of the games. And if they couldn't make last week's, then perhaps they've come out better being able to go tonight.
Here's Luke Freeman holding the ball up in midfield. Very experienced player. Over 350 Football League appearances for Freeman. Shots have got it inside their own half, which is where Barnet seem very interested in pressing them. Glover tries the ball over the top. That's a little bit too straight and a little bit too firm. Goes all the way through to Josh Keeley. We've had a couple of goals already in the National League tonight. Might have been a game too far for Fard on Saturday, but they've started well tonight. Nick Horton on the score sheet again. That's at least 4 goals in 2 and a bit games. 1-0 up against Solihull Moors, one of the teams above Aldershot Town in the National League at the minute. The shots coming into the game 6th. And would you believe Eastleigh, having kissed goodbye, maybe they didn't kiss him actually, they just waved him on his way, Richard Hill, are 2-0 up at Oxford City after just 7 minutes. Maybe that's a little bit celebratory for them. Certainly was not doing so well. Free kick to Barnet inside their own half, taken quickly by Adam Thompson. He's a player I'm not too familiar with, Steve. Shall I check my notes, or are you going to fill us in?
I will certainly try. He's a Northern Ireland international, on loan from Leyton Orient, formerly of Southend and Watford. Plenty of experience. 230
Football League appearances. Not that we're trying to show off here, but yeah, good teamwork. Ball's in touch. Barnet throw in, level with the away dugout, and just, I'd say, as we hit the 10-minute mark, 0-0. Barnet just coming a little bit back more into it between the 5th and 10th minute. Here's Stokes winning the ball. It's been quickly dispossessed. Lovely take by O'Keefe. He won it and he turned away from trouble. Harfield lifts it over the top. He's looking for Daly, who's had his first shot for Aldershot, but still waiting for that first real key moment, an assist or a goal. And of course, it is his first start, so we'll not be too impatient for that. But metaphorically, big shoes to fill tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. Jack will always give 100%. You always know what you're going to get from him. He's going to be a pain in every defender's backside. But yeah, maybe slightly different threats from James. He's more of a winger come striker, but certainly no let up in the effort or ability, I would say.
Nice little attempt at a 1-2 between Tolaj and Frost. Frost slightly overran it, and Thompson very cleverly just played it off of him into touch for the throw. Coker will take that. Ben Coker. He's not the only Coker left back, is he, in the league? Ollie's the other one I can think of. I'm pretty sure he was a left back as well. Solihull Moors, maybe? Or is this the same one? Have I got my first names mixed up?
I don't think so. No, I think there is another Coker.
This is the one from is the one from Solihull Moors. I thought there was an Ollie Coker, but there we go. I'll get you googling that one, Steve. At risk of me making a fool of myself. 11.5 minutes just gone. Throwing down the line to Stokes, holds it up, turns inside, gives it to Tolaj. Back out to Frost. Frost to Tolaj again, and now inside to Harfield as Aldershot try and change it and see if there's any more room on the left side to break down. Clear game plan from Barnet in this opening quarter of an hour to get 10 out of possession, 10 men behind the ball, just core, and that's a mark of respect, I think, for how well they know Aldershot give it and go. You know, ball on the floor, quick 1-2s. Aldershot have won it back on the edge of Barnet's final third. Harfield inside to Stokes. Stokes getting a little bit of a battering from behind from Zach Brunt. Goes back to Harfield, plays it forward. And Glover battling away for it, trying to stay on his feet, but he does. The Barnet player, Reece Johnson, I think it is. Actually, no, it isn't. Beg your pardon. But the Barnet player does eventually go down, and the referee agrees that it's because of contact from Glover.
The other Coker is Ollie, who's a midfielder at Southend.
A midfielder at Southend. Thank you very much. I'm glad I got the name right, if not the team. Barnet in possession in the middle of their back three. Played out to the left-hand side where Harry Pritchard, who burst into double figures with another fine strike at the weekend for the season in all competitions. But Barnet have eventually lost possession. Tetek, O'Keefe, and back to Frost. Frost now down, not the best pass. Daly battles away for it, and Akimo puts it into touch in front of Tommy Widrington in the Aldershot Town dugout. In fact, there must have been contact off an Aldershot player because it's Barnet's throw. Coker takes it, goes back through Akimo to Josh Keeley. Mentioned those other games in the National League. Ludwig Francier, I think is how you say it, has scored Eastleigh's third after 11 minutes, and it's not looking good for Oxford City, who are already bottom, and probably the only one of the three. What's the referee given here?
A throw-in.
Oh, okay, the ball's already gone out of play.
Yeah, I think the ball curled out of play.
I was just going to say that Oxford City, the only one of the four promoted teams that have been occupying the bottom four for the last 2 to 3 months, the only ones that are not particularly in any great form. Ebbsfleet, Fylde and Kidderminster absolutely flying, Steve.
Yeah, I think
Offside,
it is kind of moving season at the bottom of the table, isn't it? And every part of the table, but yeah, for Oxford City, you would hope that they would start to find some degree of form. Pretty going to get out of this because they struggled at the start, including their 5-2 defeat here at the Ebb Stadium on the opening day, and then they did mature. They did find their feet at this level, but yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a tough ask for them.
Here's Minoga coming out of defence, down the middle, then he turns to the right. Tetek, well, I'm not sure whether he meant his pass for Stokes or Frost, but Frost turns back and gets on it. Tetek, Menayis, Frost involved, and there's a ball forward, held up by Odonkor, but really well read by Minoga, who plays the ball up towards Stokes, who can't quite get a touch on it. A little bit scrappy. Both teams are pressing well, to be fair, and they're forcing little errors of touch and pass, aren't they? The ball goes Van Stapperschurf, and believe it or not, we've had 15.5 minutes already, and just that Josh Stokes shot on target in the 6th minute in terms of worthwhile efforts on goal. Is Stokes turning the ball around the corner. Daly will chase. Akimo will be favourite. Akimo goes back to Keeley. Keeley stays nice and relaxed and just plays the ball into Thompson. I must admit, I don't think there's ever been a season where so many teams were comfortable and happy to play out from the back in the National League. It's a pleasure to see, isn't it?
It is.
The confidence, and I guess that's the benefits as well with the league being almost fully professional now. Just the 3 sides that aren't, because they literally get to practice, day in day out, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit heart in mouth time when it's your team doing it, and they don't look as confident as perhaps they feel. But yeah, it certainly is good to see. I'm not sure how many, if there are any real agricultural long ball teams left at this division. They can all play football.
Okay, here's Aldershot in their own half, giving the ball away, picked up by Barnet, and they're coming back through Anthony Hartigan now. He's on a season-long loan from Mansfield, and Barnet try and play it forward. It's cut out by Menayis, and I don't know why he's put it into touch. He had nobody on him or near him. He probably could have done with a little bit more information, Steve.
I think he could. I think that's what he was saying in holding his arms out. He said, well, I took evasive action because nobody told me that I had time and space in which to control the ball and either bring it out of defence himself or play it upfield. In the end, he's put his team in a bit of unnecessary trouble because this throw-in is maybe 20, 25 yards out from goal.
Pretty much. Ebbsfleet have gone 1-0 up against Woking. The Searle and Udin revolution continues. And Fylde to double their lead against Solihull Moors. 2-0 there. 0-0 here at the EBB. Between 7th place Shots and 3rd place Barnet. Is Odonkor trying to get away from his man. Van Stapperschurf makes a good decision, comes for the ball, realises it's got enough pace on it and lets it drift away behind this goal. And yeah, it's pretty much on as even. 17, 18 minutes very nearly gone, Steve. And from Aldershot Town's point of view, I can see what the Barnet game plan is, but they are playing at home to the 3rd place side, and the first 18 minutes have gone without too much alarm.
They have, yeah. I think both teams starting positively, trying to start on the front foot. Barnet may be more a containment brief than abandoned attacking, but certainly it's interesting rather than spectacular. But definitely 2 teams that like to play football in the right way.
Okay, Aldershot have got the ball in their own half with Van Stappershoef. He feeds Menegis, who plays the ball into Frost. Frost goes forward. It's cut out by the head of Thompson, and I think Hartigan will get there first. Plays it inside to Akimo, but heavy touch from Akimo. O'Keefe nicked the ball and got fouled as he did so. And Wayne Cartmel, who averages 3.7 yellow cards a game. My maths isn't really that good, but he's only refereed 10 games and he's shown 37 yellows, so that's easy enough even for me to work out. But 3 reds, Steve.
Yeah, and Aldershot Town do have a few reds amongst their team. I think a couple of them are not playing this evening, but yeah, they need to be wary of indiscretion. But yeah, as we said, these are two teams that prefer to play football rather than be overly aggressive.
Here's Barnet playing out to the left-hand side where they keep the ball in nicely, and Pritchard goes forward. Minoga misses it. It's picked up by Odonkor, and he gets a shot in on target, saved low down to his left from Van Stappershoef. So, well, there we are. As we're closing on 20 minutes, both sides have had one shot on target, both comfortably saved by the keepers. There's literally nothing in.
No, I think at the moment it's two teams that are largely cancelling themselves out in midfield, and I think that midfield battle will be crucial. Whether O'Keefe and Stokes and Tetek can get the ascendancy over their really technical, creative opponents.
Here's Stokes holding the ball up for Tetek. Tetek assesses his options, goes back to his left, tries a little ball through, looking for Daly. Can he get onto it? Oh, he does. The defender does really well there. Daly adjusted his footing, got an effort in towards target, but credit to the Barnet player who got his foot up to put it behind for a corner, and he's just getting to his feet now, and then I should be able to identify him for you. It's the number 20, Connor Stevens. Well done, Connor Stevens. Great block as Daly lifted his shot towards goal.
Yeah, it was well disguised as well. I think it was Tolaj was making a run more centrally, and I thought the pass was aimed for him initially.
In comes the corner from Glover, headed on. Frost sends it in, turned towards goal. Oh, what a clearance off the line. I think it might be Connor Stevens again, you know. Cross comes back in, and it's snaffled by Keeley. And Aldershot really should be ahead, Steve Gibbs.
They should, yeah. In the end, as Tyler Frost wound up, I think the crowd had a bit of deja vu, a flashback to Saturday evening when Tyler Frost, virtually from the same position, he couldn't get this one onto his left foot for a flashing drive. Mishit it a little bit with his right foot, but straight to Tolaj, who in slow motion turned it goalwards. Keeley was not able to react. It hit the post, and then was it going to cross the line? Did Stevens clear it in time? The assistant on this side had the best view, and he judged that the clearance came in time.
Okay, here's Minoga just stepping in front of Odonkor, and his clearance finds O'Keefe, who again turns sharply and goes back to Glover. And I think as the ball came in again, Connor Stevens, he's 2 brilliant clearances in the space of a few seconds there, coming together. O'Keefe sends it towards Stokes. Stokes, oh, beautiful ball through to... Can Tolaj make it into the box in time? No, it's cut out by Akimo. But Aldershot Town in the last couple of minutes, Steve, starting to go through the gears.
Yeah, absolutely. They're starting to purr. They're starting to find space, and it's Tyler Frost in that really advanced right wing back position who's finding the space, who's making the difference. And that cross, deep cross, looking for Laurent Tolaj, making that run inside the inside left channel, bursting in from the left flank towards the goal. But again, excellent defending from Barnet.
Corner's been taken short. Tetek's pass back to Glover's not the best, but he's recovered. Now plays it in towards Stokes, who takes it on the half turn, holds it up. Can he get the ball in? He does, to the far post. Tolaj heads it back across, but away from goal. I don't think he meant to head it there, but that's where it ended up. Aldershot have got it again with Glover. Glover into Tetek. Tetek back to Harfield, who's over on this right side now. Minoga. The back three right now is Harfield on the right, Minoga in the middle, and Glover on the left. Menegis is now making his way back. And the ball was on there from Harfield to Tetek, but we can probably see it with our elevation a lot more clearly. He had 2 or 3 bodies in front of him. In the end, they go backwards through Minoga, back to Harfield, and back to Geordie Van Stappershoef. And He plays it out to Menegis, who rolls it on the floor to Tetek, gets it under control, looks inside, finds Tolaj, turns the opposite way to the way that we're used to. Has to try that now and again, otherwise defenders will read him every time. Onto his right foot, goes back to Menegis, across to Minoga, half field, and then the ball down the left channel looking for Daly. That's the kind of ball he wants to get on. Hasn't really been able to impose himself just yet, Daly. It's not going to be easy. He trains with the players every week, but his first start, and whilst that understanding will be building on the training pitch, it's not evident in the matches yet that the cohesion's quite there. Ball played out towards Tolaj, cleared away by Thompson, who has actually been quite impressive. I think Stevens and Thompson in the back three there, pretty good early on. Is Stokes trying to hold the ball up, pushes away Hartigan, who gives him a little bit of verbals back in his ear. Stokes pushes him away again. Now the referee wants to get involved. Hartigan, a few verbals in Stokes' ear. I'd imagine he gets a bit of that now. He's a championship player.
Yeah.
We don't know what was said, but there was something said.
But I wouldn't be surprised just to test him out, just to see if he snaps, see if there's any reaction, and just to remind him that.
Here's Tolaj, could go one-on-one. Can he get it on his left foot? He can, and he doesn't get the curl on the shot. He was well outside the penalty area. He was so keen to shift it and get the shot away, wasn't he, early? But he might well have, just on that occasion, just taken a second more, decided whether to advance or pick out Stokes, who was on his way forward.
Yeah, I think he made the wrong decision out of 2 or 3 options that he had there, Laurent Tolaj. You can never blame a striker, and particularly one as opportunistic as him, for taking a shot, but didn't catch it sweetly, didn't find the whip or the curl that might have taken it past Keeley into the bottom corner. In the end, it was rather limp and well wide. But I think his header from a couple of minutes ago, which wasn't on target, it was almost away from the goal. I think that's credit to good Barnet defending. He just got a little nudge as he leapt for the ball, and that put him slightly off balance and his body at a different angle, so he couldn't direct it where he wanted to.
Stokes up to Daly, pokes it back towards Tetek. Can't get it under control, but Daly steps in again. Tolaj has lost the ball. O'Donkor wins it, and there's a coming together, and I think it'll just be a free kick. There are referees that will be waving yellow cards already. Not this one. You don't get to do that and keep your average at 3.7 again. Not this season. No, indeed. But having said that, it comes out now. But is it Minoga? It was Hadji Minoga got booked when I think the foul was from Menegis. Yeah, I did as well. Although they were both there, to be fair, and the referee may have felt that Hadji Minoga did something a little bit cynical to cause the foul. Possibly. I certainly didn't see that. I will look behind me and double check with Sam Carter. Okay, but it's the first half yellow for Minoga. He's had quite a few of those in the last year. Here's Barnet coming down the right hand side, and Glover battling really, really well, and it ultimately means that it's a goal kick, and he gets a pat on his blonde locks from his twin, as I call him, Ollie Harfield, the pair of them bobbing up and down that left side. What a combination they are, those two. They know each other's game so well, and it's really grown throughout the season, hasn't it? Yeah, and I think it's really helped Ryan to have someone who knows that wing-back position inside out, as Ollie Harfield's inside him, and also so willing to make those overlapping runs. And yeah, they are a fine partnership. And spotter's badge for Mr. Carter in the row behind us. Hadji was booked for kicking the ball away. Ah, well done. Sam, do you want to pop down here and I'll send Steve off? Yeah, there we go. Yes. Where's the Mr. Gibbs fan club now? Is there anybody left out there? No, it's radio silence. Here's Barnet coming forward, shifting the ball out to the left side. A silly booking then, an unnecessary one for Hadji Minoga. Delay and a restart. It's the surefire cert, isn't it? Here's a ball in, and there's an offside given against Barnet. Against O'Donkor, who picks the ball up. Another goal in the National League was scored and then wiped out, so we'll forget that one. Dagenham just did have the ball in the net at Bromley. After the Lord Mayor show for Bromley today, isn't it? After the 4-3 win against Chesterfield that cut their lead at the top of the table to just 20 points.
I think that's what you call squeaky bum time.
Yeah, for Barnet fans listening, of course, probably the result they're most interested in. Although really, it doesn't really matter whether you finish second or third. You get a home tie in a one-off game to get through to the final at Wembley, doesn't it? So I guess really Barnet and Bromley fans will be more interested in the results of the teams in 4th to sort of 7th or 8th place. Another offside given against Barnet, and well, we've had some evidence to the effect that there is a potential for a 0-0 here. There has been one this season, of course. It was on Boxing Day against Woking. Poor ball forward from Menayes, well read by Hartington, who plays it to Coker. He goes back to Thompson. Thompson sends the ball forward, but it's into touch. It'll be a throw into Aldershot in front of the Barnet dugout, where the bespectacled and gilet-wearing Dean Brennan is shouting his instructions. Always a good listen, Dean Brennan. We've been fortunate enough to speak to him on a number of occasions for the podcast I'm involved with NL full time. But will he be happy? I think he will. I think he'll be quite happy with the way things have gone so far tonight. Here's O'Donkor winning the ball. Menayes, he goes down after the ball's gone away, and it's a goal kick to Shots, but interesting. I think Cartmell's he's a calm and assured referee. He's not one of these attention-seeking ones. Or look at me, I'm in control. And there's a poor clearance from Minoga, who looks at the ground. It looks pretty even, but there are a few little turfs of mud and grass lying around where studs have gone in, little divots. It's still a little bit soft out there. There's been a lot of rain in recent weeks. So we're in the 31st minute now, and it's Shots 0, Barnet 0. Ball's in touch again. This time it'll be an Aldershot Town throw. And after that little brief flurry around the 20-minute mark, where Shots had sort of 2 half chances in the space of a minute, it's been relatively, and I do say relatively, but compared to the majority of games at the EBB this season, relatively tame, hasn't it?
It has been, yeah. I think it's been something and nothing. 2 good teams, but I think a little bit congested. I think that there's so many bodies in midfield, and it's so fluid that players' movement is putting so many bodies in and around where the ball is that.
Has Barnet put in touch again?
Yeah, it is a little bit congested. I think it needs something to open it up again.
Yeah, a moment of class or quality. Here's Tolaj, good close control. Goes back to Minoga. Minoga will feed Harfield. I would say that on the evidence of what we've seen in the open. Oh, here is Daly. He's inside the area. Oh, snatches at his effort. I think because he could see Thompson coming back in, and he lifts it over the goal. Was it Daly or was it Glover? I'm questioning myself now. I think it was Daly.
I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was indeed. He's got similar hair colour but shorter than Glover. And just as I look back, Glover was running away from the same position.
Yes, exactly.
I questioned myself.
Question it.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think a good move, good run to get into that position, but then just lacked that little bit of composure and deftness of touch to lift it over Keeley, who is now getting a few catcalls from the North Stand for taking an age over this goal kick.
Thompson heads it forward. Glover wins it in the air and finds Harfield, who lifts it forward out to the right-hand side. And Coker volleys it over his head into touch on halfway. Kidderminster Harriers 0, Gateshead 1. Come on, Kiddie, what are you playing at? Hartlepool 0, Altrincham 1. Come on, Hartlepool, what are you playing at? You know where I'm coming from, Aldershot fans. 0-0 here at the EBB. Not an awful lot in it. I was just going to say on the evidence of the first half an hour in this tight game, Aldershot probably give an indication that they're the more likely to score, but it just takes a moment, doesn't it? Just takes a moment. Here's Barnet in possession in their own half. Hartigan turns, threads a ball through to O'Donkor, and it's well read by Van Stappershoef, who comes off his line quickly and clears forward. Frost will get the ball under control now just inside his own half and plays it out to Menayes. Menayes to Tetek. Stokes showing for the ball down the right hand side, but that'll be, should have been cut out by Hartigan, but he misses it, and Stokes almost got away from him there. Takes the throw quickly. Frost is on the move. He comes back to Stokes, gives it back to Frost. Frost now inside to Tollage. They gives it back to Frost, who clips it in first time, and it's headed clear and then headed back in. And Tollage is there. He's onto the ball. He's in. Gets the shot in. Saved by his feet down at the right hand side post by Keeley. Tollage everywhere. Here's Glover tackled on the edge of the area, and he wins a free kick right on the edge of the area, maybe 2 or 3 yards out. Quick word from you, Steve, on great work from the shots in the build-up, and Tollage getting closer.
Yeah, the fact that chance even existed was all down to Laurent Tollage's desire, sheer bloody mindedness that he was going to get on the end of that. He was at least third favourite, possibly even fourth at various stages during that move, but he was in the end the one that got onto it. And that's the live wire sort of style that Laurent Tollage will bring. And a yellow card for the foul there, which was it Reece Hall-Johnson with the foul? Whoever has picked up the yellow card, and now not quite position A for a right footer, but a good position for Aldershot Town either to have a shot on goal or swing it in for one of the big lads to try and get their head on it.
We're virtually on the 35-minute mark. Free kick then to Aldershot. 0-0 here. Glover's there. Harfield's there. Glover clips it into the far post. And I think it came off Menegis. But no, the referee has given a corner. He certainly wasn't sure. There were 3 Aldershot Town players in there. Minoga and Tollage were as well. They jumped for it. And I thought the ball came off the head of Menegis.
I think Menegis took that off Laurent Tollage's head, but
yes,
certainly
agreed.
They will not. Aldershot Town will not argue with the fact they've been awarded their 5th corner of the evening.
Steve Gibbs, Summer Borrell, the corner's taken. 0-0. Tetek to Harfield. Harfield sends it in. Headed away by Barnet. Minoga's first to react. He's got it back to goal just inside the penalty area. Looks to get it past his man. Tries to get the cross in. It's not been given us out. It sends it back in. And then it is given us out by the referee, who points for the goal kick. And we are almost 36 minutes in. Aldershot Town 0, Barnet 0.
Good spell from the shots after, as you put it, a little bit of a tame period, a bit of a turgid period, a congested period. But Laurent Tollage just suddenly thrusting himself into this game and looking as lively as Aldershot Town fans know he can. But Barnet have kept him quiet largely.
And Keeley is shown a yellow for his second bit of time wasting in the last 5 minutes. So
rightly so.
He's hit his average already. Or no, he's 3.7. One more.
I think rightly so. Keeley was, both times he's time wasted, he's been blatant about it and he's been prolonged about it. And at this stage of the game, there's absolutely no need for it.
Okay, the ball's being threaded back to Keeley now. It's being shut down by Daly. Clears it forward. It's headed on and then well won in the air by Harfield, and Glover tries to get a foot on it, can't win it cleanly. O'Keefe does, but it breaks free from him. Picked up now by Zach Brunt, who for him, I dare say, has had a relatively quiet first half. Here's a throw into Barnet, almost halfway inside the Aldershot Town half. One thing I haven't mentioned this evening is the crowd is, for a midweek game, fairly well populated East Bank and North Stand again, and a good showing from Barnet, as you'd expect for one of their nearer games. But one of the very few times, as the keeper Keeley has gone down and needs some treatment, one of the very few times, Steve, that the majority of populace of away supporters have been stood on a relatively calm February evening on the open slab. I think there's probably a couple of hundred Barnet fans here in total, not far off it, that's for sure. But,
no, I think a good turnout from North London, and from as they are now, from the borough of Harrow, but soon to return to the borough of Barnet, as announced by the Barnet chairman Tony Cleanthus yesterday. And good luck to them on their return home, albeit a relatively short one. But I think a good turnout on a Tuesday night. The M25 is never kind at this time of night. But they've got something to chase. They've got promotion. They've got promotion in their sights.
I don't know. I don't want to appear cynical here. I'm absolutely sure that Keeley must have something that needs attention. But wouldn't it be brilliant if, having time wasted twice, got a yellow card? He can't afford to do it now unless he fakes an injury. And I'm not suggesting he is, but just the humorous side of it, if he was. It's worthwhile reflecting that Barnet do have a keeper on the bench. That is Jordan Gilmore. I've got him down as a 21-year-old with a deal to May 27. But it's not clear from my notes whether that's the deal with Millwall and he's on loan, or whether it's he's a Barnet player. So
I think he is a Barnet player, former Millwall Academy.
So that's a pretty decent deal then, if he's. I mean, if I've noted it correctly. So he's obviously someone who's thought highly of, because Keeley is okay. The rules being the rules, he doesn't have to go off for a few seconds, but he is going to have a word with his skipper Harry Pritchard. Probably just to explain what the issue was. And, well, the referee will have stopped his watch, I'm sure. So, yeah, all joking apart, Barnet fans, please don't take the comment too seriously. But we are now back underway. Barnet with a throw, halfway inside the Aldershot half. Ball's played up to Reece Hall-Johnson. Heavy touch from him. And chases his own touch but can't keep it in. It's a throw in now to Aldershot. Harfield will take. And at home to a top four side on Saturday. We had a tight first half where shots just shaded it. And of course we know what happened in the 45th and the 48th minute.
Absolutely, yeah. Hold on to your hats in the next 5-10 minutes. Who knows what can happen.
Flick on from Tolaj into the path of Stokes. Brings it under control. He's got Frost on the outside of him. Tries an early ball into Daly. Daly can't quite read it. It's headed back by Connor Stevens to an area where his goalkeeper Keeley can collect it. And Barnet win possession again. Widrington not happy with the choice of the players there. Maybe directed at Tyler Frost, I'm not sure.
I think it was. I think he was asking Tyler to get on the overlap outside of Josh Stokes a little bit quicker.
He certainly did it, but like you say, he probably wanted it quicker. His Harfield clearing his lines. Daly jumps, can't quite win it in the air. And the play settles down with a combination of Thompson and Hartigan. Aldershot almost win it, but good one-touch football from Barnet. Glover does win it, but can only poke it into touch. And Solihull Moors have started the comeback at Fylde. It's 2-1 there. Barnet playing down the right side, missed by one player, picked up by the number 12 on the edge of the area, holds it up, comes back to Pritchard, he plays it further left to Coker. Coker sends it over, headed away by Glover, taken down nicely by Stokes, who sends it forward without looking. Tolaj chases, Thompson heads it away, Okimo sends it through the middle, and that'll bounce once and be collected by Jordy van Stappershoef. Eastleigh 4-0 up at Oxford City now. Southend had taken the lead at Maidenhead. I'd missed that one. It's now level though. Aldershot go to Southend, of course, on Saturday to Roots Hall. They're not in the best of form. They've been sucked right into the relegation battle. As to be fair, have about 12 teams right now. It's that close, isn't it? Maidenhead, one of those. Typical under Devonshire. Win 3 games, get up to about 12th, 13th place, and then drift again. And then just when they get near to the bottom 4, drop in it, they pop out of it again. And Dorking Wanderers are picking up that habit of late as well. Here's Menegis impeding Odonkor, who goes down and wins a free kick, which Barnet have got on the left touch line, about 15 yards inside the Aldershot half. Delighted to hear that the little intermittent dropouts you were getting have ceased. That's confirmed by both listener and producer. Thank you very much for that, both. And still, we're goalless here at the EBB in the 43rd minute. Coker takes the free kick to the edge of the area. The knockdown is picked up by Glover, who half volleys it forward. The ball's won by Okimo, and then Frost wins the next header. Pritchard heads it forward, taken down nicely by Luke Freeman. Freeman exchanges passes with Pritchard. He's away on the left-hand side. Can he get across in? Yes, he can. And there's a touch on the ball from Odonkor, and then it's half cleared, and then it's headed back in, and then cleared fully by Menegis, and then sent back in by Thompson, but that will not come to any danger for Aldershot and will bounce twice and go behind the goal at the East Bank end. We've got a minute and a half of the first half, plus whatever's added on, and I would expect at least 3 minutes, Steve, given the stoppages we've had in the first half.
I would expect so, but the game does need to improve. That little passage of play there was some of the scrappiest that we've seen for for quite some time. It was all a little bit aimless, a little bit hoof it clear, then hook it back into the penalty area with no real discernible purpose.
Good turn from O'Donkor, and then the ball bounces off a Barnet player and goes behind it with another goal kick to Shots. Now, when you were describing that Barnet kit, I was just questioning myself, as well as was there a little bit of a purplish tinge to those stripes? And thank you very much, Stuart Griffiths, who has sent in a close-up picture of the kit. And so my colour advisor on kits will also be sacked at half-time. No, there is indeed. I don't know whether what would you call the colour now? You can see it close. It's between purple and burgundy. Blackcurrant. Very good. I like that. You're back in the room. Here's O'Donkor on the right-hand side, cutting in on his left foot. Goes back to Brunt to Reece Hall-Johnson. He's quickly shut down by Glover, who wins it and then wins the foul as well. And I tell you what, if there is a player that was in this team last season that has improved more than any other under Tommy Widrington, I give you Ryan Glover.
Absolutely, yeah. I said at the start of this season, and there are indeed to be 3 minutes, a minimum of 3 minutes added on. I think I said at the start of the season, Ryan Glover was one of those players that needed to find his identity, he needed to find a position and make it his own. And
here he is now, running onto the ball forward from Harfield, but Daly and him not quite understanding each other on the same wavelength. Brunt holds it up, tries a turn. Harfield goes in strongly and plays it off of Brunt, but bizarrely, the referee's had a pretty good first half, just called a couple of things wrong. I think he might have called that one wrong as well, but he's given the throw in to Barnet. A little bit of a show of dissent from Ollie Harfield. Needs to be careful with those. You can get yellow cards for that. Just punching your fist away from you sort of thing towards the referee. Here's Stokes battling. Minogue takes the ball down nicely on the left side, plays it forward. It's cut out by a Barnet player, but can only throw it to Frost, who sends it down the left side. Doesn't find its target, but Glover's quickly onto the loose ball. Jinks inside onto his right foot, switches the play to Menayis. Doesn't need to do a lot to get the crowd supporting him, Glover, these days. He's earned that right. Tolaj back to goal. Inside the centre circle feeds Tetek. Tetek feeds Frost. And this isn't your sort of end-to-end goal after goal game, but it's intriguing in a different way, isn't it? Here's Coker letting the ball go over his head, and the ball's played off the Barnet player, and Aldershot win the corner. And I think Barnet expected a little shove from Daly, but it's that kind of light contact that referees aren't giving. So as long as he's consistent with it, I haven't got a problem with it, Steve.
No, absolutely not. And I think what Coker was alleging there was that he was tripped, because definitely the defender's ankles came together, but I think of his own doing rather than anything from an Aldershot Town player. And I think he was trying to buy a free kick there cheaply, and the referee has seen through it.
0-0 into the third of 3 added minutes at the end of the first half here. Shots have a corner. Ollie Harfield, in it comes, headed away, and then cleared away by Barnet, and the referee spotted an infringement against an Aldershot Town player anyway, and a Barnet player's down inside the penalty area, and we are 30 seconds away from the end of the first half. And I wondered with that corner, Steve, whether we might get a little bit of a feel of what we got on Saturday. We talked about that tight first half against a decent side, and then Aldershot of course scored twice on the edge of half time to go in with the 2-0 lead that ultimately they saw through in the second half.
Yeah, it was O'Donkor that was down back in his own penalty area, helping out in the defence. And yeah, it is a game that needs a goal. I think where you've got two sides pretty much matching each other in formation and largely style of play. Two passing sides like to play on the front foot, quick passing football, but the congested midfield and the organisation of the two defences has largely cancelled each other out at the moment.
Keeley's ball forward is headed down by O'Doncan, then lifted over the top by Pritchard. Aldershot clear their lines. There is the half-time whistle, and it is a stalemate at half-time. I think what Barnet have said, Steve, and quite rightly so, they're in third position and they're playing away to one of the sides in the immediate 4 playoff places behind them. Their first job tonight is to make sure that Aldershot don't close the gap on them. So they will more than happily take a draw if that's all they get. But of course, their game plan will also be to be patient as well as defensively solid and hope for a gap, a moment, a counter, which they will believe they're likely to get against a side like Aldershot, who are always on the front foot.
Absolutely, yeah. And with Aldershot Town's porous defence, Barnet will know that they've more than enough got the attacking quality to capitalise upon at least one chance. They know that they'll get at least one really decent chance to score this evening. At the moment, it is 2 teams cancelling each other out, but we all know about Aldershot Town's thrilling rollercoaster ride here at the Ebb Stadium this season. Barnet themselves, they've scored in 15 of their 17 previous away matches and conceded 2 goals or more in each of the last 4 away games. Surely it can't end 0-0, can it?
Ah, well, famous last words. I mean, there's been more evidence in this game to suggest. I mean, thinking back actually to that Woking 0-0 on Boxing Day, there were loads of chances for both sides. It wasn't
a stalemate 0-0. It wasn't dour.
It wasn't, was it? This is the nearest thing we've had to it. But Barnet recognising with their game plan today that. I guess a little bit of respect for Aldershot and the way they've been playing, particularly here at home, because clearly from the scoreline, if nothing else, that can't have been the way they played against Fylde on Saturday, where it sounds to me like they thought they'd have a right good go at it, because Fylde had obviously had 2 long-way trips in the previous 3 games.
Yeah, but I think 4 points from those 2 away games for Dean Brennan's team, 3 points up in the northwest, and then a point here this evening. I think that would represent a good 4 or 5 days on the road for Barnet and keep them right amongst the chasing pack.
All right, quick look at the other scores in the National League this evening at half-time. And my score up's a little bit slow to refresh, Steve. Have you got... the majority of them are still showing around about 37 minutes. Fylde, I think it's 2-1 now against Solihull Moors, and Ebbsfleet are definitely 1-0 up against Woking. You got the other scores up there? Are they reached? Most of them reached half-time now?
Most of them have reached half-time, yeah. It's FC Fylde 2, Solihull 1, Bromley beating Dagenham 1-0, Ebbsfleet 1-0 up against the Cards, Altrincham winning 1-0 in Hartlepool, Gateshead similar scoreline in Kidderminster, Maidenhead 1, Southend 1, and then, as we've already said, Eastleigh in the immediate aftermath of Richard Hill sacking a 4-0 up at Oxford City, and York City 0, Oldham 0, and the games at Halifax, Rochdale and Wealdstone never even started.
And I believe that somebody called Kelvin Davies, not Kevin Davies, who does live in that part of the world, has taken charge at the moment for Eastleigh, and I wonder what he's done other than just not be Richard Hill.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, Richard Hill's history and loyalty to Eastleigh is fabled, but it does seem for him to either go really right or really wrong, and it does seem, unfortunately for him, to have gone something wrong.
And Kelvin Davis, I mean, I know I see you googling it now. I think I heard that he was a goalkeeping coach, but
he was 47 years old, lots of experience, games at Wimbledon, Southampton, Sunderland, England under 21 international. In 2018 he was caretaker manager of Southampton. Ooh. So a burgeoning pedigree there, we'll say. And yeah, whether he's the permanent manager or a caretaker at the Silver Lake, we're not quite sure, but yeah, his impact in the first 45 minutes there is a pretty good application for the job.
All right, 0-0 here then at half-time. As it stands in the live league table, whilst a draw against third place Barnet would represent a decent result for the Shots, they would drop out of the playoff positions as it stands. They may need to win this in order to stay there. I'm going to turn our microphones off now, and Steve and I will take a brief break while the half-time crossbar challenge goes on. Half-time score 0-0. And Aldershot are out for the second half as well, and more importantly, so is Wayne Cartmel, our referee. I can't see any imminent half-time changes. Delighted to say Geordie van Stappershoef has now joined the rest of the team. And I'm welcoming back in the commentary box Mr. Steve Gibbs, as Aldershot in their home kit of red and blue stripes, red shorts and red socks. Prepared to kick towards the East Bank and have kick-off against Barnet, who are wearing... Over to you, Steve Gibbs.
Predominantly white kit with
black currant
stripes. Okay, maybe I'm digging myself a hole here, but yeah, it is a purple, a red, a black hue. There's stripes on white.
More importantly, the teams: Aldershot, Van Stappershoef in goal, Harfield, Minoga and Menegis. The back three: Glover and Frost, the wing backs. O'Keefe and Tetek in midfield. Stokes, College and James Daly, who's making his first start of the season. Aldershot coming forward, but Stokes has lost out. Reece Hall-Johnson clears the ball forward, and Harfield sends it back. Down on the chest of Daly, into the path of Glover. Glover goes all the way back to Van Stappershoef. He just has to scamper to the left side of his penalty area to pick the ball up. And he sends it out to Tollage, who's come very deep. And just sends the ball out to the left-hand side to Harfield. Harfield with the ball down the line. Headed inside by Stokes, looking for Daly, who just gets there and does well. Tight control, gives it to Stokes, who looks to play it back to Glover. But Glover was hustling past him and he just laid it back. Consequently, they missed each other and the ball went into touch. We are 1 minute into the second half and it remains Aldershot Town 0, Barnet 0. And you're listening to BBC Radio Surrey online, the BBC Sport app, or watching on NLTV. As Barnet clear, and the ball lands on the roof of the Aldershot Town dugout. And Jack Barham springs out of his seat to try and catch it, even though he knows that he can't because there's a roof above him. But it was a moment of comedy anyway. He'll be itching to get on, and I don't doubt he'll get a chance as well. I think we'd see him for at least the last 20-25 minutes, probably regardless of the scoreline. Whether Aldershot are chasing, holding, or still trying to break through. Here's Tollage coming deep again. Lovely ball round the corner to Frost, who's scampering down the right hand side. Ball's in. Oh, and Daly stretches everything, but he can't make contact. It looked as if he wasn't sure to try and toe it in, chest it in, but he didn't make any contact, and he will have come within inches there, just 4 or 5 yards out of diverting that into the goal, Steve.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best chances to open the scoring for either team this evening. Lovely disguised pass from Laurent Tollage, took 2 Barnet defenders out, sent Tyler Frost scampering down the right hand side, and then that was a lovely, dangerous, driven cross into that corridor of uncertainty. And maybe if that had been Jack Barham on the end of it, maybe he'd have known exactly what to do, because yeah, Daly, he was in between 2 defenders but didn't quite seem to know what to attack it with or how to attack it. But maybe it was just a yard or 2 in front of him, and any striker would have struggled to get on the end of it. But yeah, you need someone to do something and open this game up, because it, as promising as it's been, as good as the football has been, it has been a little bit a little bit of a stalemate, a little bit cancelling each other out. And normally you'd say you need a creative player to get on the pitch and open the game up. There's plenty on the pitch already.
Is Daly looking to get through the middle, and he's fouled from behind. And interesting to see if the referee goes to his pocket here, as I think he might, and I think it might. He's just making sure he's got the identity of the player right. And he's waiting for the player to look at him, and I think that player is Thompson. It is indeed. He was trying to avoid all eye contact, wasn't he?
You didn't need to see who it was. You could just look at the body language and the position of their eyes. And the player who was least looking at the referee was clearly the guilty one. And yes, it was Mr. Thompson.
OK, free kick to Aldershot then. It's about 40 yards out, just right of centre. I think it'll be a clip into the box over the high defensive line, which is stood outside the D, not just outside the penalty area. We're 49 minutes completed now. Hartlepool have equalised at home to Altrincham. And goalless here at the EBB into the 50th against Barnet. And Aldershot have a free kick, which Harfield clips over the wall. And it goes all the way through to Keeley, who looked initially like he might be in a hurry to distribute it. And now he does bowl it out to Reece Hall-Johnson. Tetek comes out of midfield to try and shut him down. Harfield should win that one. Plays it up towards Tolledge. Great hold-up play into Tetek. Tetek inside to Stokes. O'Keefe lifts the ball over the top. Tolledge will chase that. Can he keep it in down by the goal line? Yes, he can. Turns back onto his left foot, rolling along. Oh, looks to beat a player, can't. Ball breaks clear. Glover only gets 50% of it. Ball breaks kindly again to Aldershot. Tetek to Glover. Glover clips a ball into the penalty area. It's headed up in the air. Stokes battles for it. Barnet clear it forward. It's well held up by O'Donkor, but his ball is cut out by Daly. He finds Tetek. Again, Aldershot dominating the possession and the intention, but no goals to show for it. There's a good sharp turn from Daly. A lovely exchange with Stokes. Crosses it in. Oh, and just before Tolledge can make contact, Akimo gets there and clears it away to the left-hand side. It doesn't go behind, though. Glover's got it. Sends a cross in. That looks too deep to the far post. No. Well, Keeley takes no chances, and an outstretched hand puts it behind the goal at the East Bank end. And the shots have started the second half, much as they did the first. Quick word from you, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, shots lifting it. I think they need to play with a little bit more pace, a little bit more zip on the ball. Maybe it's maybe that rain on Saturday evening allowed them to play with that extra half a yard of pace, because it's not been laboured from the shots, but not quite at their best. They're starting to show it now, though.
We're in the 52nd minute. Corner to shots at the East Bank end. Can they break the deadlock against third placed Barnet, who have proven a tough nut to crack this evening? In comes the corner, missed by a couple of people on the goal line, and Aldershot almost get it in. Stokes turns, gets a shot on target. That's cleared away, and then it goes viciously behind, and it's another corner. Might be Aldershot's 7th of the game.
Yes, it is their 7th, and I think Rolling Menayisa was just trying to get the ball out from under his feet to turn and have a shot. It wasn't quite happening for him, but yeah, Aldershot Town lifting it.
As Hartlepool turn it round and go 2-1 up against Altrincham. Here at the EBB, it's still goalless. Almost 52 minutes gone. In comes the corner from Harfield. Missed by almost everybody. Back across the goal from Minoga. And then it's diverted over the bar by another shots player. Not sure who that is. It might have been Menayis, but it is a goal kick to Barnet.
I think it was. I initially thought it was Laurent Tolledge that had diverted it wide, but the corner looked overhit. There was a pile of bodies in both colour shirts lying on the floor underneath the flight of the ball. Then Haji Minoga, with a spectacular bicycle overhead kick, whipped it back into the box, and I don't think Tolledge could really control it, or whoever the shots player was who diverted it wide. I don't think he really expected it. The ball was coming at such a pace that he couldn't direct it on goal.
Here's Tolledge and Thompson in a race, as is the goalkeeper, who gets there first and allows it Keeley to go behind. Tolledge not found wanting with a chasing. He'll chase the lost causes, he'll chase the positive causes, and if he gets half a chance, he'll pull that trigger. Been kept relatively quiet in front of goal this evening He has, though, forced one clearance off the line. Keeley with a huge goal kick. Glover battles well. The ball runs through to Harfield, who sends it forward. Headed away by Thompson. Diverted inside by Brunt. And Frost. Oh, poor ball from him. It's cut out by O'Donkor. And he's breaking forward now. 2 goals in 2. Great tackle from Tetek. Coming to the rescue of his teammate there. And then Brunt battles well to force the ball off Minoga for the throw. First time all night Aldershot have given the ball away really dangerously there. Yeah, and O'Donkor 2 goals in 2 coming into tonight. But quickly his teammates got back to help.
Yeah, that was horribly telegraphed from Tyler Frost. He was almost looking straight at O'Donkor that you thought, he can't be playing that pass, can he? And then he did.
Glover clears down his lines. Willard shouting some instruction. Sorry, did I say Willard? Widrington, beg your pardon. Not Willard, no, he's down at Worthing, isn't he now? Although he could be here tonight, I don't know if they're playing. It's Maidenhead United 1, Southend 2. So Southend might end their recent poor run this evening prior to playing Shots on Saturday. And Maidenhead, if they do lose, will slip ever closer back down the table. Brunt and Hall Johnson can't quite get their act together. As much as prior to the game, Steve, you would have said if Aldershot could get a point against Barnet, it would have been a good result. Certainly 4 out of 6 against Altrincham and Barnet in combination. Yeah. But from what's played out in front of us and the players missing, it's a big opportunity for Shots to get a win.
It is massively. I think as much as we'd have said for both teams, 4 points from this Saturday, Tuesday sequence of games would be a good result. But the 3 points are there for the Shots taking this evening. I think you always say, is it a point 1 or 2 dropped? At the moment, it will be 2 dropped.
Oh, lovely ball from Menegas, plucked down by Tolaj, finds Stokes, and then a switch over. And I'm not quite sure what that was intended, but it didn't come off. Anyway, the first couple of elements of that move were very good, and ultimately it fizzled out rather quickly.
Yeah, I think it was a good interception in the end. That was Tolaj attempted to switch play across to this left-hand side, but a Barnet midfielder stepped in and the deflection took it back towards goal.
All right, we're in the 56th minute. It remains goalless at the EBB Stadium.
Surely not.
Detect the surprise in my voice. Barnet play the ball forward. Harfield favourite to win this one in the air. He does. And then O'Keefe profits from the 2 players before him, both mistiming their jumps. And it's Danny Waldron who's put Southend United ahead. Prolific at 1 level lower. Don't think he's notched until now. He may have done, but certainly put Southend ahead. Into the 57th minute, still goalless at the EBB. Harfield down the line to Glover. Skips inside, assesses his options, plays it to Stokes. As ever, aware of whether he can turn or not, and he couldn't. Just plays it back, and Aldershot happy to keep possession and try and play a ball through the middle. Frost made a run in from the right there. If he'd been spotted, he could have been through. And Aldershot through Harfield, inside Glover. Glover spreads the ball to Menegas. Menegas plays it through the middle to Tolaj. His first touch isn't up to his normal standard. The second one may have been a pass for Tetek, but it found Stokes. Who cares? He exchanges passes with O'Keefe. Stokes exchanges passes with Frost, who goes back to O'Keefe. And Aldershot enjoying the lion's share of possession, and Barnet quite happy to let them. Minoga with the arrowing ball out to the left-hand side, which Glover can't keep in. He does divert it, so it goes into touch for a Barnet throw down by the corner flag rather than a goal kick, and acknowledges the intent of the ball from Minoga. And I think, rather than saying left, middle and centre, I think Minoga's job is to mark O'Donkor, isn't it?
It is.
And that very often at times is leaving a combination of Harfield and Menegas free. The ball's out of touch for a throw into Barnet. Down the line, cut out by Glover, but his attempted ball forward skews off his shin or his knee and into touch again. And it remains here on 57 minutes and 57 seconds gone. Aldershot Town 0, Barnet 0. Glover wins the ball in the air from the throw, but can only head it to where O'Donkor is. Then there's a good foot in from Tetek, who finds O'Keefe. Stokes rolls his man and plays it down for Daly, who is given offside, even though he appeared to come from behind Thompson from my angle.
No,
But,
I think he was.
Thompson may have just stepped up a second or so before.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit offside. I think he didn't anticipate the pass, but the defender did, so that allowed him to step up a split second before Daly realised what was going on. But when you've got one striker, as Barnet have, up against 3 Aldershot Town defenders, you think maybe a change of formation. But if you take one of those defenders off, that would probably allow Blunt and Freeman too much space that they would exploit. So it is something of a stick or twist for Aldershot Town. Whether I think they need to pass the ball quicker, move it quicker, because there were suggestions that Barnet were susceptible to the counter-attack. Not this evening. I think they're playing maybe a little bit deeper. They do also normally play a high line, which I wouldn't say they were doing this evening in open play. And they are making themselves very difficult to break down.
Another one of the playoff chasing sides, Oldham Athletic, have gone 1-0 up away to York this evening. Eastleigh have added a 5th against Oxford City. Van Stappershoef comes out of his area to clear. It's headed on by the Barnet player to Daly. Daly on the left-hand side up against Thompson. Tries to get it in. It's blocked behind by Thompson for another corner to the shots. And I was just wondering if Barnet had had any or how many.
They have not.
I didn't think they had. It's
this is Aldershot Town's 8
on corners. Yeah, 8-0 on corners, and you don't get any points for that. But it might suggest that Aldershot are a little bit closer to taking the lead than Barnet. Of course, one moment can change everything. We're in the 61st minute now, just past the hour mark. Corner in from Glover, fisted away, and then a really brave header at the back to clear it from Barnet, as the referee had spotted a foul anyway, certainly one that I didn't see, but did enough there, Keeley, and then a coming together between an Aldershot and a Barnet player, and I don't think that's what the ref blew for. Did you see a foul?
No. Well, it was a very brave header from the Barnet defender. I think it was Haji Minoga who's down for Aldershot Town. He's back up to his feet, and the Barnet defender is too. I'm not 100% sure what the referee did penalise, but yeah, I think it was one of those where it could have been any number of challenges, and maybe not either way, but certainly there were Aldershot Town players putting their heads in probably where they shouldn't as well.
The third consecutive 2,000 plus crowd, despite there being 3 home games in a week. 2,126 with 207 visiting Barnet fans. That was a good guess, 200.
It was.
Keeley will eventually get us underway with the free kick. It looks much the same as a goal kick. Frost wins it in the air up towards Tolaj. Akimo diverts it forward, as does Brunt, spinning viciously. Harfield lifts it over the top, and Daly will chase. He'll put Thompson under a bit of pressure. He hooks it forward. The ball runs loose to Tolaj, but the referee spotted another foul again. Well, it's obvious to him. Brunt's gone down just holding his head. I couldn't see anything, but credit to the ref, he's a lot nearer, and he's not a fussy type. So Solihull Moors have equalised at Fylde. So Fylde, who led 2-1, didn't they, against Barnet? No, they didn't. I think they led 1-0 and they came back from 2-1 to 2-2 and then lost 4-2. And they've been pegged back again by Solihull Moors, who continue to find a way. And it remains super tight here. 62 minutes gone. Glover wins the header. Brunt heads it inside. Tetek may have had arms on him. O'Donkor gets that ball, chases it, goes behind, and it will be a goal kick. O'Donkor can't believe it, nor can Reece Hall-Johnson. What did you think, Steve Gibbs?
I thought it was... I'm not 100%. I'd have thought it was more likely a corner.
I thought it was a goal kick myself. But judging by the way those two players are incensed, I may be wrong. I will call it as I see it, regardless of who it's for. We're 63 minutes gone, and you're either listening to BBC Radio Surrey, online, listening to via the BBC Sport app, or watching on National League TV. Here's Stokes holding off his man, clipping the ball over the top. No one was there, and two Barnet centre-backs can just shepherd it back to Keeley. Hartigan plays it out to the left-hand side. He was being shut down by Stokes, who very nearly got a key touch. Here's a strong jump from Menegis, and then Brunt tries a ball out to the left. It's brilliantly read again by that same man, Menegis. O'Keefe sends it forward on the right-hand side. Glover not happy on the left that nobody even looked at him. And then Coker plays it off of Frost into touch for a throw into Barnet, 10 yards inside their own half. 9:10 in the evening and no goals at the EBB, Steve. What is going on?
What is the world coming to? But yeah, I think Aldershot Town, as they have done so often this season, as we saw them do on Saturday evening against Altrincham, they've not been able to hit teams on the counter. They've not been able to get in behind the opposition defence, and I think that's in part credit to the way Barnet are set up, but also I think Aldershot Town, as I've said before, they need to move the ball a little bit quicker. That's a really big part of their game and a trademark of their passing, and Aldershot Town are preparing a substitution, and it does look like the aforementioned Mr. Jack Barham, who is about to enter the fray.
Yeah, I said he'd be on for the last 20 minutes regardless of the scoreline, and that's to be the case. Also on the bench for shots tonight, Ashley Akpan, Josh Barrett and Kwame Thomas and Maxwell Mullins. Here's Tolaj, look, picking up the ball inside his own half. And then Tommy Widden sending back up the pitch. There's a ball into O'Keefe, and free kick, offside given against Daly. And I wonder if that's going to be his last action. Don't think Aldershot quite ready to make the sub. The one thing you can expect with Jack Barham is happened nearly all season. The first couple of minutes of the game, if he's starting or when he comes on, he seems to get a chance.
He'll get a chance, yeah.
Can he take it tonight? Can he be clinical? If and when it comes along, he should get at least 25 minutes out there, probably at least 30, given the normal amounts of added time. Shots play it forward. Thompson chases it into his own half, and Hartigan will go all the way back to Keeley. Heavy touch, clears it under a little bit of pressure. Glover eases into Hall Johnson, and Aldershot have got a throw in to take. Are they going to do the sub now, or is it? They are going to take the throw first. Perhaps a substitute still being registered. Harfield not sure what's going on. The referee may hurry him up here. It wasn't a time wasting element. It was a little knockdown, and then all ball comes off of Glover, goes behind for a goal kick, and now the substitution can be made in the 67th minute, and it is indeed James Daly. Your thoughts on the full home debut of James Daly?
Something and nothing, really. Shown a lot of endeavour, had a couple of half chances, looked dangerous a couple of times, but I don't think it's not been the ideal game for him, where it has been a bit stifled, it has been a bit congested. He's not been able to find the space that he wanted, and
the one time he did, he lifted the ball over the bar. He did get through one-on-one momentarily.
Yes, yeah, and it was a little bit of a rushed effort that wasn't really ever going to threaten the goalkeeper. But Aldershot Town will definitely hope that Jack Barham does find the space, and that he's got the movement, playing on the shoulder as he does. That whether he's caught offside 6 times, doesn't matter. If he gets through once and he scores, that's job done.
Yeah, Daly also was the one player involved for Aldershot in an attacking position. It couldn't quite get on the end of Frost's cross in this second half. Here's the shots from their own Have you back with us, listeners. 71 minutes gone. It's Aldershot Town 0, Barnet 0. Good flick on from Mo Doncourt. And Menayes just had his hands on the back of O'Donkor. I think we might see a yellow card here for Roland Menayes. Any complaints with that one, Steve Gibbs?
Absolutely not, no. O'Donkor did really well to muscle in front of him, and then a neat turn that took him away, chasing the ball, and all Rollin did was just a grab of the shoulder, none too subtle. Definitely a yellow card.
Agreed. And yeah, thanks for the listeners who are just confirming that we're back on air. And Barnet have a free kick in almost exactly the same position they had when you lost us, or we lost you, or we lost each other. 72 minutes, very nearly gone. Aldershot Town 0, Barnet 0. Free kick in from the left, headed behind for a goal kick. Much the same outcome as the one before, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, not two of Barnet's.
Nice of them to do a replay when I listen to it.
Absolutely, yeah, it's an immediate action replay, but yeah, both come to nothing. They do have free kick experts in this team, not least Mr. Hartigan, but yeah, I don't think we've seen the best of the creative players on this pitch tonight. I said earlier,
which might be why they're calling for Kwame Thomas. No disrespect to him.
No, absolutely. I think it's if finesse and subtlety doesn't work, sometimes you go with a battering ram.
Byron will love this, coming on full of energy against tiring defenders. There are 17 minutes and about 10 seconds left. Thomas is going to come on soon, and it'll be interesting to see who goes off there. It might well be one of O'Keefe or Tetek, allowing Stokes to go back into central midfield, Tollage to the number 10 position, and Thomas to go up top. That's what he's typically done.
Yeah, I think it certainly won't be a striker for a striker. It will be an extra striker on the pitch with tactical switches made elsewhere.
Here's Tollage, but Thompson clears forward. Harfield does really well, so does O'Donkor, to be fair, who shows for the second ball as well. Great run into the right channel. Gets the ball back from Stead. Menayes pokes it into touch. He says that I poked it off of O'Donkor. The referee disagrees. And we are now going to see Kwame Thomas coming on for Dayan Tetek, who of course played 90 minutes on Saturday. I think he played all 90 minutes on Saturday. And O'Keefe of course is a little bit fresher. So Stokes will now join O'Keefe in the centre of midfield. And it'll be Thomas and Barham enjoying some rare, well, not that rare towards the end of games, but some more pitch time together. Tollage will be a little bit deeper. Tollage has been wandering deeper and deeper to get back on it, sort of almost Harry Kane style, hasn't he, as the game's worn on. Here's Barnet getting the ball back from the throw. Hall Johnson steps on it, goes back to Brunt. Brunt trying to get past Stokes, clips the ball in, and it's headed clear and away and behind for Barnet's first corner, Steve.
It is, and that was good play by Barnet, and I think Josh Stokes very nearly gave away a free kick, but in the end did well, and Ollie Harfield off balance. I thought he might let it go because I think Van Stappershoef could have taken that, but in the end Harfield asked no questions and conceded the corner.
Okay, then corner to Barnet at the High Street end, 75th minute, and Van Stappershoef momentarily drops it, but there's no Barnet player there with him, and then he bowls it out to Stokes, who, it's a beautiful first touch. He's 1-on-1 against Akimo. He steps inside him, Akimo holds him off, and then Stokes is deemed to have fouled. Bromley were 2-0 up against Dagenham. It's 2-1 now. I tend to agree with the referee on that one. Barnet send it forward. It's flicked on by Stead, picked up by O'Donkor. Smart turn from him, but combination of Minoga and Menayes outwit him. Menayes' ball forward is only into touch, but off of a Barnet player. Must have clipped his heels. And Tyler Frost is now going to take this throw in for Aldershot. We are in the 76th minute, and it's still goalless. The ball comes off of Kwame Thomas, or he thinks it's an Aldershot throw. This time it's given the other way. And it's elsewhere that all the goals are flying in tonight. Filed, of course, 7 days ago, kept Aldershot to 0 goals. but scored 5 themselves. Barnet have gone about things a very different way here. There's another 50-50 throw-in decision. This time goes in Aldershot's favour, level with the edge of their own penalty area. And I think Aldershot have shown enough, Steve, in their matches in recent weeks against teams up there, Altrincham, and hang on, let's just break off as Barnet come forward. They've shown enough in their games against the likes of Rochdale, Halifax, Altrincham to suggest that they are where they are on merit. Different kind of challenge here, isn't it? Have you got the quality to break down a very well organised Barnet side that are missing a few of perhaps their more potent players, and are just showing what they show, which is that there's many different ways. Oh, here is Brunt, edge of the area, tries to poke a shot towards goal. It's come clear again. He's got his back to goal now. Aldershot have quickly got bodies back. He does well, Brunt, to square it across, and it's cleared away. And it's in. Well, Van Stappershoof's got it. And everybody came together there, and I wondered if it was going over the line, and Van Stappershoof may be a bit hurt by that. He's up and limping. Meanwhile, Glover's over halfway on the counter-attack, but everybody's waiting for it in the box. And he's just lost it, but it's cleared of all people to Stokes. Stokes to the edge of the area. Is he going to try a shot? No, it's a pass into the area to Jack Barham, and he stumbles and can't control it. And Aldershot at both ends fluffing their lines a bit. Van Stappershoef is in some pain, and there's no keeper on the bench.
Yeah, it was. In the end, he did really well. It was a rare, ultra rare mistake from Ollie Harfield to give the ball away.
Right in front of his own
Zach
goal.
Brunt took the long way around the ball in, dropped to the near post, and there was Haji Minoga, the limping Jordi Van Stappershoef, and a Barnet player. And in the end, it was the goalkeeper who just about came up with it. And both teams looking like they're going to go for the win, not accepting of the point. But is that Reece Hall-Johnson going off?
Yeah, Hall-Johnson going off, and Jordan
probably
Cropper.
A straight swap.
Yeah.
Cropper is a right back, a right wing back, can play centre back. So yeah, like he's lining up on the right side of defence. Whether it'll now be a back four, and that'll be a slight tactical switch, or whether it is a straight swap at wing back remains to be seen.
Here's Tollage picking up the ball centrally, turning, making advances towards goal, sending the ball out to the right hand side to Frost. Shows to get it back from Frost. Lots of shots players in the box if he can get it in. In it comes, touchdown by Glover into the path of Harfield. So many bodies up there. Harfield sends it in again, and it's missed by a couple of people, and then offside as it's eventually poked in, I think by Jack Barham, but it's given offside prior to that, and now the Barnet goalkeeper requires a little bit of treatment. And I think Barham, for his complaints, is being shown a yellow card, and Stuart O'Keefe is having a quieter word with the referee. No. Is he going to get a yellow as well?
I think, given that the Barnet goalkeeper, Josh Keeley, is down, initially flat on his face, now flat on his back in the 6-yard box, I think maybe as they slid in for that loose ball, I think maybe the referee has judged that Barham's sliding challenge on the goalkeeper was dangerous and worthy of a yellow card. But the East Bank are very, very vehemently telling the referee that that was a wrong decision.
Well, we're not well positioned. We are, as our regular listeners and those watching NLTV may or may not know, we are positioned around about 20 yards inside to what is currently the Aldershot half. We'd have no thoughts really on an offside away at the other end, but Barnet have survived that slightly tricky moment. The offside flag to their rescue, and by the sounds of it, even if it wasn't offside, the goal wouldn't have counted, Steve.
No, I think not. It looked like Barham was sliding in at the far post rather than making the challenge, but yeah, the officials were better to make that decision, both offside and the foul. And to be fair, the flag did go up pretty quickly before whoever put the ball into the net had done so.
Keeley's going to have to be careful. The ball was positioned for the goal kick, and then right at the last minute he decided to go and move it. Interesting to see if a referee actually had the bottle to give a second yellow card for time wasting. There's a good battle. Here's the knockdown, and Brunt sends it forward. It's chased by Callum Stead. He's up against Harfield. That twist shows one way, then the other. He's advancing towards the penalty area. Is he going to try a shot from distance? He's now blocked out by Glover. That ball forward to the substitute who's just come on has been cut out by Stokes. Flick on from Kwame Thomas, taken down by the chest of Barham, into the path of Tolaj, who sends it out to the right hand side. Frost into the area, brilliantly beaten away by Keeley. 82nd minute, and Frost with opportunity to put the shots ahead, brilliantly battered away. And here's O'Donker at the other end, and a combination of Minogue and Harfield stopped the 19 wearing number 19 from getting a shot away. And brilliant counter-attacking football from Barnet. The save by Keeley, O'Donker with a chance, but Minogue and Harfield shutting him out.
Yeah, two excellent moves in a matter of seconds there. Aldershot Town just flicking the switch and turning on the collective afterburners, and Tyler Frost, as he did on Saturday, finding himself in that advanced position. Good save from the goalkeeper. Callum Stead, he's come on a live wire. He's really made it since he came on for Barnet.
83 minutes gone. Corner in from Barnet, half cleared to the edge of the area. They'll get another need to get it in here from. It's headed away this time by Frost. Around, Barnet have got it back again. In fact, it's going to drift into touch, and there'll be a throw into Aldershot. 7 minutes left plus added time, Stephen. Without a shadow of a doubt, all three results are possible.
Eminently so, and both teams wanting to take away those 3 points. Really opened up in the last couple of minutes, and hopefully, after maybe a game that hasn't quite lived up to its billing, opening 80 odd minutes, now a grandstand finish coming.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I've enjoyed it actually. It's been tight and tense, and I think Aldershot have shaded it. That doesn't win you any more points. Putting the ball in the back of the is Glover, volleying it forward, and I think it'll go all the way through to the Barnet keeper, but it's headed clear, only a and he sends it forward again to Minogue, who chests it down onto his right foot and bombs the middle. Is he ball is by Zach. Free kick in the centre of the pitch, taken quickly. Minogue bombed on forward is Harfield, sending it out to the left side to Glover. In it comes, it's half cleared, back out to Glover. Glover sends a cross in, headed away by Barnet. Frost volley, and then Tyler in off of a defender or the goalkeeper line, but Frost takes celebrations, and the whole team join him down by the corner flag in front of the East Bank. 85th minute, Aldershot Town 1, Barnet 0.
Well, Tyler Frost has just bought a ticket and he's won the lottery. Fired it from a distance, from an angle, to a crowded penalty. Various names being Kwame Thomas from Sam Carr row behind us.
Yeah.
It's gone in off somebody. The goalkeeper was left in a heap inside the penalty area, inside the 6-yard box. Whether it's Tyler Frost, Kwame Thomas has been credited with it, but if it was a audacious touch inside the box, but
it was
down to Tyler Frost, who's bought the ticket, had a shot. And if you don't have that shot, you don't score, whoever puts it in.
Before the game today came up, we were chatting to him, Horsey and me, and we said, yeah, you've scored, but you finally scored it, but you haven't scored at the weekend. He may still not have, because that sizzling, rasping drive definitely went in off someone. It's either the goalkeeper, defender, or Kwame. Yeah. Sam Carr, just the Aldershot, you're quite confident. And not the first time he scored on a crucial goal.
No.
In fact, be his third goal in 5 games, I think, if he has got it.
Yeah, and value to the team. He's utter, but as Tommy, he's one of his finishers. No matter if you start or finish, you've got a quality, and you've earned a place in this team. And now shot again.
Stuart, I guess, must be either watching from the East Bank end watching NLTV. Free kick to Aldershot, 10 yards inside Barnet's half. He is saying in off Kwame Thomas's back. That's. I mean,
they all count.
We don't actually care which body part, do we? Really? But thank you, Stuart. And goal there. I'm told there's a little bit of intermittence again, but here's got from distance, half cleared and poked in by. Oh no, it's not. It's not in. Like it had gone in. And again, everybody in the North Stand were handball the appeals by O'Donker, and then a foul by Stokes on O'Donker. Stokes, the yellow card, referee deciding that's cynical. And Shots inches away from a 2-0 lead, now have a free kick to defend, 3 minutes left. And
it's Jack Barham who's shown it in the challenge to win the ball and push the ball goalwards, where the ball rebounded off the post, seemingly over the line, but finally Barnet survived. He has managed to make it out of the 6-yard box to maybe 25. He's beating the turf in pain and frustration. He looks to be in some discomfort. Josh Stokes did know exactly what he was doing. Just a little nudge, stop that Barnet counter-attack before it got any more dangerous, and that's always going to be a yellow card.
I'm pretty sure that the majority of you are hearing us clear, actually, because we're getting all sorts of responses about the goal. Jason Burney, it went in off Kwame. Is also watching on the replay, says it pretty looks like Frost shot struck Kwame Thomas. We're going to give it to Kwame Thomas, and far more importantly than who scored the goal, shot plus whatever's added to make sure they don't concede. If they can consecutive clean sheet here at the EBB, they will be retaining all 3 points this evening. The referee's shown well over his 3.7 yards average. So brave, Barham in the right place, and he's so unlucky twice now not to have scored.
Yeah. But again, he's made an impact. He's not necessarily a catalyst, but he added to Barnet's problem in some discomfort. It looks like he can't walk off under his. He's having to be virtually carried off the Aldershot town, helping him off. Jack Barham.
Can't quite tell. He's been supported on both sides, and so I'm not going to try and estimate what part of the body it is. Possibly ankle, but absolutely no clear idea. And meanwhile, Aldershot need to get focused on defending first of all this free kick, which is 45 yards out. Brunt's over it, so's Hartigan. I think they're probably just going to clip it over the defensive line. Still being told there's issues with the sound quality by some people. Apologies for that. Here's Brunt clipping the ball in. Headed away briefly, half cleared, comes back across. Brave header from half field and then cleared away by Stuart O'Keefe. Brunt sends it out to the left-hand side. It's taken down well. We're going to have 7 added minutes. The ball finds touch. And there you go, Shots fans. That is the squeaky bottom time. 7 added minutes.
Yeah, to be expected, I think. And just, yeah, Aldershot Town, if they can keep a second consecutive clean sheet against 2 of this division's top scorers, 2 of the most potent creative attacks. It's the Aldershot Town defence that has taken most of the criticism this season. The midfield and the attack has been brilliant, but the defence has been found wanting.
Okay. Thank you very much.
If they can keep 2 consecutive clean sheets, that'll be huge credit to this the whole team, but to the back 5 and the back 6 particularly.
Thanks very much, Steve Gibbs. Great to have confirmed the line's been redialed. You've got us back again. We're into 7 added minutes, and Barnet will have themselves a corner as we just go into the second of those 2 added minutes. Can Barnet, who are so good, I'd say Barnet and Bromley, the 2 best sides in the league, maybe along with Chesterfield for getting a result out of situations like this. In comes the corner to the far post, and the referee spotted some pushing just as Callum Stead jumped to head at the far post, and Aldershot survive for now. Oxford City continue the slow comeback against Eastleigh. They're in the final minutes there, and it's 2-5 now. And yeah, several people confirming that the ball went in off Kwame Thomas's back. Well, he was in the right place at the right time, that's all I can say. I mean, the interesting thing will be, I haven't seen a replay, whether the shot was going in anyway. I think there was Kwame Thomas and a defender and a goalkeeper. Here's Frost heading it forward. Tolaj heading it out to the right-hand side. Good swivel from Coker. Kwame Thomas shuts him down, claims the throw, but the throw will go to Barnet. 2.25 minutes into a minimum of 7 added on. Aldershot Town 1, Barnet 0. There was a momentary loss of sound while we just redialed the line to make sure it was clear for these remaining moments for you. 2.5 minutes into the 7 added here. Here's Keeley, well out of his area now. He's almost up to halfway. Sends it forward into the right channel. Glover surely is pushed in the back, nothing's given. O'Donker goes down rather easily. Holds the ball, protects it. Stead might be able to get a cross in. He goes back to Brunt. Can Brunt get the ball in with his left foot? He does. Van Stappershoef jumps, drops it, gathers it again. In fairness, he caught it cleanly, but as he was coming down, came into contact with a player which forced the ball out of his hand. I don't want that to look or sound like it was a drop. No,
it was good positive goalkeeping in the end, and yeah, went down in instalments, but as Josh Keeley has shown at the other end, that's definitely in the goalkeeper's right.
Aldershot chasing a long ball forward, goes all the way through to Keeley. Keeley sends it out to Connor Stevens, who sends it forward on the right channel. Stead battling away, he might be in here, might be able to get a shot with his left foot, squares it across the goal. Picked up on the far side, sent back in, headed away by Glover, huge leap, flicked on by Mullins. Only as far as Hartigan, who sends it out to the left-hand side. We're not far off 4 of the 7 added minutes now. Here's Menayesi up against Pritchard at the back. Ball forward. Kept in by Coker. Goes back. Cross comes in deep and high to the far post. Half cleared. Frost brave. Tolaj heads on. Frost follows. Kwame Thomas sends it on down the left side, and Frost has got plenty of legs, but not that many.
No, and immediately Kwame Thomas turned and apologised to his bench for overhitting that one. He realised immediately.
Barnet come forward, and the ball surely was out of play. No, it's not given. Stokes helps it forward. Kwame Thomas will compete against Thompson. It's cleared. Headed inside by Hartigan to Stevens. He lifts it over the top. Flick on. Harfield's touch isn't quite perfect. Stead's onto it. Harfield recovers. Ball comes in. Minoga clears. Forward. It should just stay in play. Thomas flicks it on. Now him and Thompson will chase it down. Thompson goes back to his keeper. I look back at the clock, and it's agonisingly close to 5 of the 7 added minutes. Can the shots hang on for back-to-back home wins against sides in the top 4? There's Stead blocking the ball down. Harfield has to clear to touch. Hartlepool have beaten Altrincham by 3-2. We'll round up all the other scores when this one's over, but it's going to be a breathless finish here at the EBB. 5.25 minutes of a minimum of 7 have gone. Shots 1, Barnet 0. Barnet have a throw, and it's going to come in long from the substitute Jordan Cropper. In it comes long and flat, and headed over the bar by Connor Stevens, who claims the corner, knowing full well it came clean off his head. And so, fortunately for Aldershot Town, does Wayne Cartmel, the referee. Official man of the match coming up. Steve Gibbs will make his own independent decision. Just when you think he's not going to get it, he gets it. And Ollie Harfield given the official man of the match. You could give him the man of the match probably on 80% of the games. He's in the shake-up every week, Steve, isn't he?
Only 80. Yeah. I think maybe the other 20 he doesn't play, but yeah, superb. Mr. Consistency, absolutely brilliant. Again.
Okay, Apologies again for any sound quality or consistency issues tonight. Frost sends the ball up in the air. Tolaj battling for it, and Barnet lift it forward. Frost heads it forward. Frost heads it forward for a second time. Stokes can't win it cleanly. He's adjudged to have fouled, needs to be careful, can't show any dissent. He's on a yellow card. Has to make sure that he's available for Saturday, because Aldershot, by the looks of the way Jack Barham limped off, will be without the diminutive striker at the weekend. It may be another opportunity for James Daly. And here's Keeley with the ball forward. Nearly 7 minutes have been played, added. How much more will the referee add this evening? Another throw into Barnet. Almost everybody forward, even the goalkeeper's up to the halfway line. Jordan Cropper's going to send one more long throw deep into the area. It's headed away by Frost. There is the final whistle. The Shots have done it again. They've beaten Altrincham in 4th place. 2-0 now. They've beaten Barnet in 3rd place by 1-0. They are indeed the real deal this season. Tyler Frost, sizzling effort, diverted over the goal line by the back of Kwame Thomas, has sealed all 3 points for the Shots here. And Steve Gibbs, I don't think you're going to say they didn't deserve that.
No, I think they did. Over the course of the game, I've recorded they've had 6 opportunities, 4 on target. Barnet had just 1 or 2. And 6 points from 2 playoff 6-pointers, from 2 of this division's other most exciting, creative, potent attacking forces. And Aldershot Town have beaten them by a combined score of 3-0. 2 clean sheets from supposedly one of the worst defences in this division. That's huge credit to everybody, front to back. And again, same as we said on Saturday, the whole team has defended. It's not just the back 5, the back 6, or the defensive midfielders, it's all 11. They've all defended superbly, and they've earned the clean sheets as much as the 6 points. It wasn't the best game this evening. Yes, it was enjoyable, but it maybe wasn't the open, free-flowing goal fest that maybe we dreamt of. But vital wins and hugely impressive wins as well. And yes, we've hoped that Aldershot Town are the real deal all season, but in this last 4 days, they've proved it. They're coming stronger, more together, more cohesive. They've got more options, they've got more quality. And they've deserved it tonight, as they deserved it on Saturday. It wasn't as impressive a performance as against Altrincham in front of the TNT Sport cameras. But beating Barnet this evening, albeit a slightly depleted Barnet, a Barnet who aren't in the best form, who aren't the best on the road, nonetheless, they came here to be obdurate and difficult to break down. And yes, it may have taken a bit of a crazy goal, a deflection off Kwame Thomas's back, but Aldershot Town have got the 3 points that they deserved, and they move on. They go to Southend, fearing nobody, exceeding expectations, but dreaming of what might be.
Yeah, amazing stuff here. We almost can't believe what we've seen. Back-to-back clean sheet home wins for the Shots against the sides in 4th and 3rd place. Had they drawn tonight, they would have been out of the playoff positions, but they've won late on and they've gone 5th again in the National League. Just 5 points now behind 3rd place Barnet. We dare to dream, Steve Gibbs.
We dare to. It's the prerogative of every football fan, but in this situation where Aldershot Town have spent the best part of a decade, save for 2 years under Gary Waddock, the best part of a decade looking down, looking over their shoulder. But now, Happy Days is playing, Happiness. And yes, Happiness is a football team called Aldershot Town when they're in this sort of form, and who knows what they can go on to achieve this season. Even getting to a top 10 finish would have been an achievement, but now whatever they go on to achieve this season, they've shown themselves to be a team, a squad full of quality and resilience and passion and heart and drive and versatility. Because some players have had to play out of position. Ollie Harfield, the man of the match tonight, and I'm not going to argue with that. I don't think there was anyone who was exceptionally outstanding. There are some players who will come close. I think Tyler Frost, I think Tolaj, as usual. Tetek again, quietly impressive.
Glover as well.
Haji Minoga, Ryan Glover. I'm virtually reading out the whole 11. Again, when it was less of a complete team performance than Saturday, but players have stepped up and they've done what's necessary, and they've got the 3 points. But yeah, Ollie Harfield, Mr. Consistency. I'm not going to argue with that.
Bromley were 2-0 up against Dagenham tonight. Dagenham got a hopeful goal back through Sam Ling in the 70th minute. And Josh, yes, we still love you, Josh Rees. 90 plus 5 equaliser. That's finished Bromley 2, Dagenham 2. It's finished Fylde 2, Solihull Moors 2. Ebbsfleet have beaten Woking by 1-0. Dominic Polian's first half goal, the difference there. We'll look at the bottom end of the table again in a minute as well. Hartlepool 3, Altrincham 2, and Hartlepool suggesting on the back of that result and recent ones that they are still in this playoff chase. Dizaruwe with a couple of goals for them this season. Aldershot, of course, go there in a little while. The tour of duty away this season. Kidderminster 0, Gateshead 2, and the unbeaten run of Phil Brown comes to an end thanks to goals from Whelan and Job. And Maidenhead United 1, Southend United 2. Adam Crowther and Danny Waldron, two of the newer signings at Southend, get the job done there for them on their travels. The shots will go to Roots Hall on Saturday. Oxford City 2, Eastleigh 5. McCallum back in the side after a 3-match rest due to suspension. 2 more goals. He scored in the 1st and the 7th minute. It's York City 1, Oldham 1. Well done, Will Davies, for taking taking a couple of points off Oldham, who led in that game through Mike Fondup on the hour mark. What that all means is, in the National League, Chesterfield, who've not played tonight, still have a 19-point lead over Bromley and also a game in hand. They're on 62 points, Bromley. Barnet are on 59. Then Solihull Moors 4th with 54. Aldershot 5th with 54, but a inferior goal difference. Gateshead, a couple of games in hand over the shots, on 53, are 6th. Oldham on 53 as well, are off 33, 1 game in hand on shots. Then Altrincham drop out of the playoff positions after back-to-back defeats. They're on 52 points. Halifax Town, who didn't play tonight, are on 50 points, and then Hartlepool 47. Then there's a gap down to Dagenham and Redbridge, who are 11th now on 42 points. I think it's the top 10 that realistically are still in a shout, Steve, for those playoffs, which means Aldershot are one of 7 sides looking to finish in those kind of, shall we say, available 4 playoff spots, because it would take some sort of collapse for Bromley or Barnet to fall out of them.
Yeah, I think so. I think the top 3, not the top 3 places, but certainly those top 3 teams will be amongst the promotion challengers. But momentum is a huge thing. Aldershot Town have steadily got better throughout this season, and at the moment they're finding a way, to coin a phrase, as someone did earlier this year. They are finding a defensive way, and unfortunately for Cian Harris, it's 2 clean sheets in the 2 games that he's missed. I'm sure he'll come back into the squad at the very least on Saturday, but Aldershot Town have put a defence together. They're without Kobe Rowe, they're without Cian Harris, and they've kept 2 clean sheets, and that's huge credit to the quality of the players who've come in and to the resilience of the whole team, who've had to put their bodies on the line, had to by hook or by crook keep those clean sheets, but they've earned them. They've earned them, and then, of course, with this attack, they're always going to find a way. They will get a chance, more often than not they will score. And they've done it. It's not been overly pretty this evening, but they've got the 3 points, and that's what matters. At any time of the season, but particularly at this stage and against these oppositions. 3-0 as a combined score against Altrincham and Barnet is probably Aldershot Town's 2 of their best consecutive results in, I don't know, many a year.
And performances, I'd say.
Yeah.
If you look at the number of clear-cut chances Barnet created through the night, very little.
Very few.
Only 2 or 3. And I understand that. They were very adamant at trying to keep a clean sheet against Aldershot, and if they stuck one in the net, they stuck one in the net and took all 3 points. But
yeah,
it did feel, even allowing, even taking the red-blue out of it and trying to look at it objectively, it did feel that if one team was going to break the deadlock tonight, that it would be Aldershot. And the goal came, and Barnet will probably feel it was fortuitous. I've seen it back myself now. Frost lets fly. His shot is right to the centre of the goal. Kwame Thomas turns his back, it hits his back, and then it disappears and diverts between keeper and defender and over the line. And
does Kwame know what he's doing at that point? Or is he turning to try and
I think as the shot
rebound?
comes flying in, I'm pretty sure he thinks that's sizzling and that's on target. And I think that's the reason he turns his back. But it hits him squarely on the back, right where his shirt number is, and then goes across the line. And of course the goalkeeper and defender have made their moves in the direction that the shot's going by that point. But
as we said, if you don't have that shot, if you don't show the ambition, and it's once again credit to Tommy Widrington and his coaching staff for having the ambition to not settle for a point against one of your promotion challengers, your playoff compatriots. He wanted to win this game, and again, if it's a bit of luck, he's earned it.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll go again on Saturday from Roots Hall, where the Shots will test themselves against an invigorated Southend, who've brought to an end a run of poor results where they've slipped dangerously close to the bottom positions in the National League. That's what I was going to do. I was going to have a quick look at that. We've talked about the top end of the National League, but another defeat on the travels for Woking tonight against a side in those lower echelons of the National League. So let's just have a look at the bottom end. Oxford City, 28 points now, 5 points adrift to Kidderminster, and more importantly 10 points adrift of safety. So Kidderminster second bottom, 33 points. Woking third bottom, 34. Dorking Wanderers, who've not played this evening, sandwiched between Ebbsfleet and Ebbsfleet and Woking. They're on 38 points, as are Ebbsfleet, as are Wealdstone, as are Southend. And then it's Maidenhead now on 39, York on 39, and Fylde on 39. And there are, between the side in the final relegation position, Dorking in 21st, and Boreham Wood in 14th, there is 2 points. Crazy. In terms of the games played, Maidenhead's is a little bit worrying. They've played 35, they've only got 11 left. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Dorking play Ebbsfleet on the weekend. I'm just going to double check that. So that's another massive game. Yeah, they do. And I know Mark White's been watching that one tonight between Ebbsfleet and Woking. And what's that? 2 wins, 2 draws now for Danny Searle and Anwar Udin, Steve. And what a great start they've made.
Yeah, I'm really pleased for them. I don't think Aldershot Town, for whatever reason, got the best out of them. I think budgetary constraints conspired against them when he was trying to build a squad for the second season. And yeah, I think he's not had the best of times. He's moved around. He's coached in Ireland. He's coached in Eastern Europe, and now he's come back here, Danny Searle, and yeah, he's clearly galvanised them. Whatever he's done, he's having a real impact, and it's huge credit to Danny. I'm really pleased that he's come back into this division and hopefully proved himself to people who have doubted him for quite a while.
And Ebbsfleet, of course, due here at the EBB Stadium in a few weeks' time as well. I wonder if they'll still be unbeaten.
Welcome home, Danny.
Yeah, unbeaten in his and Anwar, of course. That one is in early March, I think, or not that early, around about well, I haven't got the date in front of me, but it's in towards the end. 12th. Thank you very much, Craig. So lots more to come before then, starting with the shots at Roots Hall on Saturday, where I'll be commentating with Joe Pope of Off the Line blog. And we look forward to speaking to you again then, listeners. I'm going to leave the lines open. I'm not sure what time they will go off. You may or may not catch post-match with Aldershot Town manager Tommy Widrington and one of those Aldershot Town back three, Minoga or Menegis, who we haven't spoken to yet. Thank you very much, Steve, and good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Is it me, or is he quite slow out tonight, Tommy? It's unusual. Oh, it's Hugo. No, hi Hugo, how you doing? Just get so we've got. That's okay. We'll get a new one now. I'll get Steve to take one. Don't really. No. Oh, Steve will take it and send it through to you, just so that he can put it out on Twitter. We could just get a fresh photo of the fresh-faced Hugo Lantern. That's it.
Looking thoughtful as though one of Rob's questions are interesting. So a little bit further round.
Me? Oh, you want me? Okay, I didn't think I was going to be in it. But, yeah.
Oh, you can not be in it if you don't want.
Should we get just Hugo, Tim, or not? It's better, isn't it? You don't want me in it. You said take one of each and then see what.
It's one for the housewife.
That's it. Take one of each, Steve, and then Tim will decide.
This one's for Halloween.
Okay, right.
Can we hold that?
That's okay. No, I can do it. I'm going to switch my microphone off so we've got a consistent sound level. Just checking the sound effects microphone. Good level, Tim? A little bit louder. Been joined by Hugo Langton after Aldershot's 1-0 win over Barnet. Hugo, back-to-back home wins with clean sheets against two sides in the top four. Discuss.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. Couple of games. To have the clean sheets is a testament to the back line. I just said to somebody else as well, the other assistant, Richard Dryden, will be really happy with it because he takes a lot of responsibility for our defensive work on the training ground. And Barnet are a really good side. They've got a real attacking threat. They score a lot of goals, and they are where they are on the table for a reason. But I thought, to be fair, the back line tonight, to a man, the way they defended, not just in their box, but in general, I thought they were excellent tonight. And as you know, we've always got a threat up the other end. So I'm delighted to see Kwame nip in with the winner.
We'll come to that one in just a moment. I think it felt throughout the evening that it was tight. There was an element of the sides cancelling each other out, but it always looked that if one side were going to go on and find a winner, it did look like Aldershot, didn't it, Hugo?
Well, if you reflect on the first half, I thought we absolutely tore them to pieces at times. I thought we pressed really, really well. You know, we could have scored 3 goals in the first half, and that was the only thing that was really missing from the first half performance, because it was almost a complete performance, just lacking that goal. And the second half, to be fair to Barnet, they made it at times a little bit more of a end-to-end, a little bit more of a basketball match. But I think it just came down to one goal, and luckily it came for us, and I think overall we deserve to win the game tonight.
And Tyler Frost, of course, who scored here on Saturday, played a big part in it. It was his shot that was sizzling towards goal. And I think we've seen the replays now, haven't we? It's clearly gone in off Kwame Thomas's back.
I don't think Kwame will care how it's got in. he's in that area, and he's between the posts, and that's where we encourage all our strikers to be. And if it's come off him and gone in like that, then great. I've not actually seen the goal back yet, but all I know is that no one's taking a goal off Kwame, whether it went off his nose, his backside, his stomach, or his back. So they all count.
For those boys in the whole team, of course, but particularly at the back, and Geordie as well, to get back-to-back clean sheets, that'll be a real sweet one for them, won't it?
Yeah, I don't think we've done that yet this season. We've had clean sheets, and it's something that we've tried really hard to address because we don't hide the fact that everyone can see it. We're a good attacking side with a lot of goals in us, but it's just games like tonight, where it's going to be tight. Having that clean sheet, it gives you the platform, doesn't it? And it just means, to be fair, I think we actually could have scored again, and Jack was a little bit unlucky when he got injured, and at that moment, and there was another one, I think it was a bit unlucky. It looked like a 50-50 ball to me when Jack went in with the goalkeeper, won the ball and scored, and got booked for it, which again, I'm going to have to see that one back. I thought that was a bit mad, but the way I look at it is that if I look at the chances that we created and the chances that they created and what Geordie had to do, which was next to nothing, I think that points everything to the fact that we did deserve to win the game tonight.
Yeah, Jack looked quite uncomfortable as he limped off. Is it ankle or ankle area?
No, it's his knee. I don't know the severity of it at the moment. He's currently in the physio room with Liam. Fingers crossed it's not too bad, but I could see he couldn't put a lot of weight on it as he was coming off. So fingers crossed for Jack that it's not going to be as bad as it might look, judging by the way that he walked off, limped off even.
Thoughts very quickly after you've had a quick drink with the gaffer. We'll turn to Saturday,
Sure.
Roots Hall, Southend away. They've been on a poor run of form, but they've got a win tonight, 2-1 away at Maidenhead, which will certainly lift them. And they're certainly not a team that can be taken lightly, are they? Because they keep the ball extremely well.
Really, really good sides, every team has a little dip here and there in form. We have. Southend have had theirs lately, and they've ended it tonight, and they've got some really, really good players. They've got, again, like every side in this division, they've got a real attacking threat. I mean, when we played them at home, I thought Harry Cardwell up top, I thought he was outstanding. And the way he played the game that night was above this level. But yeah, they're a team full of really, really good players, and they've got a good management staff that we know quite well. So it's just another puzzle we've got to try and solve. But I think if we can replicate what we've done on Saturday night and again tonight, and if we can take that into an away game at Southend Saturday, then hopefully we'll come back with something.
I know it's one game at a time, but in the last month or so, performances against 4 sides now in the top 8. I think you've won 3 and drawn 1, or won 2 and drawn 2. You certainly proved that you're there on merit. No real reason why you can't stay there for the remaining 12 games.
Well, I think the hardest thing is probably going to be, and again, Tommy's spoken about this as well, that we've got a lot of players that are now in uncharted territories that haven't knocked out 30-40 games a season, and it's they're going to have to dig in now. Obviously we'll manage them and what we do on the training ground and how much rest they get, and right now when you get into this stage of the season, the real key word is freshness. It's something that I speak about a lot, and we just got to keep the lads as fresh as possible, feed them the right information, one game at a time. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but all I know is that I do know that tonight we've surpassed the points for this season. Was more than we had last season. When Tommy but at the end of last season. So
53 points last year, 54 tonight. Yeah. And congratulations on the win, the second clean sheet, and up to 5th place. Well played.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Hugo.
No problem, mate.
Thank you. Do you want to watch the goal, Hugo? Kwame's going to turn into try and get out of the way. No, I don't either.
Oh, that's the best goal I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Lovely, thanks, mate. Yeah, they all are. Yeah.
Hi, Tim. As you guessed, as it was Hugo. I just went straight through and did the look ahead all in one go. So yeah, no worries.
Yeah. 6 pointers Saturday and tonight. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Losing's far, disappointing, but it doesn't have such an impact as losing.
It's not like we'd have been losing ground on them. So, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I think that you're.
I'm going to take it tonight. I need to. go through all the kit and everything. Thank you, David. Much appreciated.
Cheers, David.
Sat? Oh no. It's all right. Did you manage to get a message to? It's rolling, is it? Okay. We need a photo of rolling as well, if that's all right when he comes.
I've sent them through to Tim on WhatsApp already.
Yeah.
He needs to turn his phone on because they're not getting through.
Yeah. And to find out if Mr. Durrance loves me or not now, he's going to go with a photo of Hugo on his own. It's going to be Rollin Menayis who does the post-match, not Hadji. We'll try and get Hadji perhaps very soon. Before we... Yeah.
I'll take the pictures through to Tim's phone if he wants to.
Ah, right,
But
okay.
They've not got through yet.
Ah. Right. Tim was just saying something about BBC staff Wi-Fi or something. They've made a change or something.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why it's not accepting it at his end.
Okay. Shall I send it through to somewhere else or someone else?
Think.
Shall I email it?
Would you like them Would you like them emailed, Tim? Might that come quicker? We'll try it. We'll try it. We'll try it. Yeah. Yes, I do know. Yeah, that has to be maximum. I think so. I'd love. Yeah, I'd love the whole one to go out. I think Cameron was doing that occasionally, actually, putting that one out with the whole. Yeah, I think if they've. Yeah, see how. Yeah. Menayis. M-E. The spelling is Rollin. It's Rollin is pronounced, but R-O-L-L-I-N. Menayis. M-E-N-A-Y-E-S-E. Okay, lovely. Okay, and you said the line's down now anyway, so I'll switch off, pack up the equipment, do it on my phone. Is that right? Would you? Oh. Ah.
I've emailed the pictures to Tim, and he's also just received.
Okay, that's all right. That's fine. I just got a text through from you, 10:17, saying line down. But maybe you sent that a while ago, and it's only just come through. And that's. There can't be too many still listening. No. All right, we'll switch it off. Yeah.